One of the great benefits of Microsoft Dynamics is its end-to-end capability, and whilst we at Cowry concentrate on the finance element with Business Central, there are great CRM capabilities as well, and we partner with Cloud9 Insight to deliver that element of the Dynamics suite. Today's Fireside Chat is with Zoe England from Cloud9 Insight, and I hope you find this informative. Hello and welcome to another one of our Fireside Chats, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Zoe England, who is the Strategic Partnerships Director at Cloud9 Insight down on the South Coast. Good morning, Zoe.
Good morning, Nigel. Thank you for inviting me along today.
No, thanks for taking the time out. So I wanted to kind of jump straight in. Cloud9's got a big birthday this year. In fact, I think it was just a few days ago, the official 10-year anniversary of Cloud9. But tell us about you and your journey within the business. Give us a bit of a potted history.
Yeah, sure. So delighted it's our 10-year anniversary, and I'm sure if Colleen, our CEO, was on the call today, she'd tell you how far the business has come. So certainly I joined the business 2.5 years ago, and just to give you a bit of the history before I joined, so I know yourself and Colleen have had strong links over many years, and Colleen, in association with Microsoft, had a great passion for CRM, and at that point 10 years ago the cloud was just emerging really in the UK, and together with Microsoft, Colleen decided to set up Cloud9, aimed at the SME space in terms of bringing solutions to business owners by implementing CRM in the cloud. So back then, Colleen decided to take herself off in true cloud spirit over to France, to the Alps, and ran the business from there. And I think it was pretty obvious then that it didn't actually matter physically where she was, and that no one needed to know where she was, that she could still operate the business and run it successfully. So I think 4 years after that, she came back to the UK and was delighted to be awarded by Microsoft the President's Club, which those of you that don't know, there's only 5% of partners in the UK in the Dynamics space that are fortunate enough to be given that as a recognition of their quality of delivery. So a fantastic achievement. And I think if you fast forward now, the business today, we've got 35 people, which is just incredible. I know myself, when I joined a couple of years ago, we were just about into double figures, so that's incredible. Yeah. So we're supporting clients today across SMEs. We've got a particular focus across 4 industries. So we're working with membership, professional services, manufacturing, and also financial services, but particularly with the sort of M&A and investment management side of things. And we've been recognised and won countless awards. Colleen herself is now becoming a household name with her brand, which is super exciting for her to be invited to lots of public speaking. She's frequently quoted in the press, and recently on the BBC News talking about data and how SMEs can use their data. So really come a long way in 10 years. And I personally, as you've mentioned, I've worked with our partners, and I can come onto that in a bit in terms of how I've seen things move over the last couple of years. So hopefully that gives you a quick glimpse at Cloud9 and where we've come from and where we are now.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we obviously are one of the partners that works with Cloud9. Could you give us a bit of an idea about what sort of categories of partner you work with?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. So I think we've we call it in the Microsoft channel P2P, partner to partner. And certainly what we've found over the last couple of years is different ways of engaging with different organisations. So typically we have partnerships with other Microsoft partners who effectively do parts of the Microsoft tech stack. that we don't do. And that's a simple entry level is a referral partnership where you cross refer business between the organisation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've then got your more strategic relationships where you're perhaps working with a large distributor and they then are working with a number of resellers, and then someone like Cloud9 would come in as the expert in a specific Microsoft piece of technology like Dynamics, and we're then the expert that comes into those conversations. So there's a multi-level partnership arrangement, and that works very well. So we're delighted that we're doing that on a national and a European level. And then there's other partnerships as well where it's perhaps a complementary offering that works well with Dynamics. So if you think about something like automated signatures online, you've got businesses like DocuSign where that naturally integrates into Dynamics, and it's something we see a need for from our partners. From our clients, that we can offer a solution to for our partners.
Right. Okay. Does that mean that working with partners is the biggest way that you get business?
Love that question, Nigel. So I think for us as a business, when I joined sort of a couple of years ago, we were getting around about 10% of our new business from our partner referrals. Delighted, obviously not necessarily just because I've joined, but as a business, last year 70% of our new business revenue came from our partner relationships, which is amazing. And I think certainly I see us as sort of leading the way as far as the trend for partnerships goes across any industry, but certainly within the Microsoft channel, I think we're ahead of the curve there.
Yeah. I mean, we also see working with partnerships as a key way to develop new business. As much as anything else, by the time somebody has referred one of their loyal and valuable customers to you, it is already coming with a bit of a stamp of approval, and it shortens the sales cycle. The customer feels as though they've been well looked after. Yes, that same partnership model works really well for us, and I'm really glad that we contribute a bit to your 70%, and you certainly contribute to our partner referrals. Going back to the CRM product, I know it's not called CRM anymore, although most customers coming to you, I'm sure, still say, talk to me about Dynamic CRM, even though Microsoft haven't called it that for some time. So in those 10 years since that product went online, it's gone from newly launched to fully mature. How has that changed the way that you go to market?
Yeah, so I think it's fair to say many people still don't even know what CRM is, let alone what Dynamics is. But certainly I think Microsoft have done a fantastic job at elevating Dynamics. There's been sort of quite a lot of advertising and actual marketing that's targeted towards small businesses. So I think Dynamics used to be seen as this huge enterprise grade system that was only suitable for large customers. And there's been some huge waves in recent times to say, no, actually, effectively, we can switch everything off and just switch on the bits that you need as an SME. And there's very affordable, out of the box, quick to implement solutions for Dynamics. And the other trend we're seeing is that businesses are looking for an industry specific solution, and what we've done is created some industry specific solutions that will have the language that will appeal to a particular sector. So if you think about something like financial services, they would perhaps refer to their contacts as relationships, whereas someone like manufacturing would have a different language that they would use. So we found having those out of the box solutions that appeal to a vertical are really powerful. And we've had clients who've literally seen a demo and said, yeah, we're going to buy it the same day because of the power of doing that. So I think that's moved on leaps and bounds from when initially CRM was first made available sort of 10 years ago.
We've talked a little bit about the partnership that we have. We're purely Business Central. You're you concentrate on the CRM family of products. Have you ever got to the point where you've considered developing an ERP practice?
Yeah, so I understand why you asked the question, and I think it's fair to say Microsoft promote the fact that there is a huge tech talent shortage, and that there's a crazy number by sort of 2025 as to the thousands and thousands of shortages of roles to be filled. So I think Business Central has been very successful. It's grown hugely in the last couple of years, and the tech talent just hasn't grown with that. So I think for us, we haven't been able to find a good level of resource that we can rely on, that we could recruit, and actually through partnering, what we found is similar to why businesses partner with us, ourselves, by partnering with someone like yourselves, we can effectively add a business unit overnight and take advantage of your skill, and be able to go to market very easily. The other thing that's worth talking about is that quite often a client isn't sure whether their need sits within CRM or ERP. So by being able to go to a client with another partner, you can present a united front, and then you can work out what the right solution is for the client, because they don't always know. They don't know what they don't know until they delve into the detail. And part of our role as a partner is to help them on that journey to work out what's right for them.
Yeah. I mean, we've done a number of kind of joint bids into customers where either they've come along knowing that they need a finance solution, for instance, and or that they know that they need a CRM system, but actually once they're kind of sold the bigger picture of being able to go from a marketing lead to cash in the bank, with one product platform, that's a really appealing message. And as you say, we can go in with a story with you that is that entire message, and you can do the same vice versa. In your space, Microsoft have always been very worried about Salesforce. Do you still find that Salesforce is your biggest competitor?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So I think you have to bear in mind what I touched on earlier, that Microsoft, in terms of their market share, has grown hugely. So they've now got sort of 70% market share, and it's not surprising then that yes, we do still see Salesforce, but I think the fact that Microsoft are now offering a platform that does so much more than what Salesforce does. Yeah. I think the other thing to bear in mind is that Office 365 is now being used so widely. It's natural, within the SME space to look at, what's the progression from there, and Dynamics with its native integration to Office is an obvious choice. So it's becoming accessible and affordable for SMEs, and that one platform is a strength. Obviously, there's other players, but they don't have that one solution that a business can implement one Microsoft solution versus a number of different offerings. The other thing to bear in mind is customer experience is becoming really key for a lot of businesses, particularly now with current situation. And again, Dynamics is an obvious platform as the next step. Once you've done Office, you then go into a sort of CRM Dynamics environment, and then you look at customer experience. So one organization can deliver everything.
Yeah, and I mean, when I hear from a prospect for the first time, one of my first questions is, are you using Office 365?
Absolutely.
Or Microsoft 365 as it's now known. And if the answer is yes, we know that there's a massive we're already ahead of the game. And I'm sure you feel the same. The licenses and the users and everything are all managed in one place, and of course there's those integration benefits. So finally, let's have a look into the crystal ball. When you and your senior team there at Cloud9 look into the future, what do you see?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a little bit at the moment as to who knows where we're going to be, but certainly going forward, there's a strong plan to continue to build the brand. We are very well known within Microsoft and the Microsoft ecosystem, but I think there's a strategic plan to become more well known within the industries that we're targeting. And we're also putting more investment into those sort of niche sector specific solutions that I touched on earlier, which is all about innovation. So innovation is going to be key moving forward for all businesses, and if we can provide a specific solution for an industry that allows them to innovate and innovate quickly, then that's going to be key for us. Also, as a business, we're very keen around understanding what our clients' purpose is. So we want to align with them around their purpose and what they want to achieve and what their legacy is in terms of making a difference. Because, the world isn't just about making money, but it's about, what you're doing and what you're going to be known for. So that's very important for us in terms of working with partners and with clients. And we see that as a trend moving forward. And on a final point, I think obviously future for us is to continue to grow. We've been hugely successful over the last couple of years and managed to have 70% plus growth last year. Obviously this year it's been a little bit more difficult, but we've still seen 20% growth in 2020, which is amazing. So next year and beyond, scaling up the team and continuing our growth ambitions. And let's do another interview this time next year, Nigel, and see what's happened, if the crystal ball is correct.
Well, I very much hope that when we do that, and we will definitely do it, we'll actually be doing it around a real fireside, or at the very least face to face, which is obviously proving a little bit difficult at the moment.
Yeah, or a fire pit on the beach in Brighton, maybe that would be nice. Yeah.
So listen, I'm sold. Zoe, thank you very much for taking time out this morning and having a chat with me. Happy birthday once again to Cloud9. 10 years is a great achievement, and the growth that you've seen. We look forward to continuing to work with you for the rest of this year and well into 2021. Thanks, Zoe, and we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, thanks very much, Nigel. Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you.